also the term biological woman is something that is being used a lot at the moment, which as a term in itself is absolutely meaningless, because biology in every aspect of it does not work in binaries, and especially with the body. A lot of people learnt in basic biology, so maybe preschool, about certain aspects of bodies, and just never thought to either question that or to actually look at what's really going on. Doing a degree in biology, there's been certain things where I've been asked questions or to do an essay on something like I thought I knew about because I'd learned a basic version. So one of my favourite examples is in second year we got tasked with write an essay, what is a gene? I was like, yeah, easy. I'm going to smash this. By the end of the research, I was like, I don't know anymore. It's really, really complicated once you start looking into it. So I'm going to go through a number of different aspects or things that people might say online, family members, etc. So first of all, I'm going to talk about chromosomes. So who in this room actually knows what chromosomes they have? I don't. No one here does. So a lot of people will tell you, if you talk about chromosomes, okay, well, if you have XY chromosomes, you are a man, and if you have XX chromosomes, you are a woman. First of all, your body and the gender of your body has nothing to do with the gender that of your mind. So we can throw that one out the window. But also, there are a lot of other genes. Oh, I know I said what is a gene, but let's not go into that. But there are a lot of other genes that do a lot of other things. A lot of genes on the Y chromosome are actually to do with colour blindness, which is probably where that stereotype comes from about men not being able to discern colours. But there's probably only about one gene that we know about on the Y chromosome that has anything to do with a fetus developing as male, and that's the SRY gene. And something about this gene, which a lot of genes do tend to do, is that it loves to just pop itself out of that Y chromosome and stick itself onto an X chromosome. So you can have people with XX chromosomes with an SRY gene, they develop as a male fetus. They don't know that until at some point in their life they get tested for their chromosomes. Also the fact that sometimes when a cell is splitting into an egg cell and you end up with one sex chromosome in each of these eggs, sometimes those chromosomes get stuck to one another and don't separate in time, and then two of them get stuck in one cell, and then you have another cell with none. So these things can happen. We actually do not know all of the combinations of X's and Y's, and biologists have yet to name all of the combinations they have found. And if you know anything about biologists, it's that they want to name something after themselves. So that is a feat that we still haven't named all of these combinations. So when people talk about the binary of sex, okay, chromosomes are binary, then we can look at hormones. So hormones are another thing that people assume, okay, well, if you're a man, then you make testosterone. If you're a woman, you make estrogen. First of all, again, that's just plain wrong. Every single human creates amounts of both of these hormones. We have the ability to produce both of these hormones, and just in differing amounts. And you can be born in a multitude of ways and be producing different variations of these hormones. And this is one aspect of being what's called intersex, so where your body exists outside of that sex binary. And that is where I fall. So I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and my body just does not know the difference between estrogen and testosterone, so it makes a completely random amount of both, hence why I have big tits and I can also grow a beard. at the end of the month I'm going to be going as the bearded lady to a Comic-Con. And I thought, as a bearded lady, if I'm going to be dressing up as a bearded lady, why would I have to buy a beard? I can just grow my own, that's fine. So that is why my body is like this. I was born like, well, obviously I was born like this. I didn't come out of the womb with a beard, and that would be weird. But hormones do not exist in any sort of binary. Cells don't exist in a binary. You can have many different ways that cells communicate to one another. You can have a fetus, which is called a chimera, where if there was more than one egg in a uterus, and maybe those two eggs were fertilized and had different sets of chromosomes, and they merged in the womb, so you can have part of your body that has XX, half of your body that has XY. So really nothing in biology is set in stone, and we see this all over biology, not just in humans. Finding Nemo would have been a very, very different film had they actually gone with the biology of clownfish, because I think that the dad would have become the female of the group and then mated with his son. So that would have been a very different movie. And probably not been a film for kids. So what I hope to show you was that the reality of biology and basic biology is that humans are and have always been gender diverse.